We are a few weeks after the deadline. It is fun to look back and dissect, depending on which teams you are. Jon Heyman, good morning. On the Inside Corner, there is this narrative that you can't rebuild or reimagine in New York City. What are the Mets doing, and what will the offseason look like in Flushing, Queens? Good morning.
Good morning, Lauren. Yeah, I'm sure Mets fans aren't too happy right now. They have a non-competitive team, lost a doubleheader 27-3 to the Braves. That's rough. But I do believe them. They say they're going to be competitive next year. I think they will be. Their nucleus of position players is still very, very good. And, you know, obviously, in terms of the rotation, you've only got really Quintana and Senga coming back, who are sure things. But the free agent market is full of good, very good pitchers. Snell, Urias, Nola, Montgomery, Yamamoto, the list goes on. And we know Steve Cohn is willing to spend. You know, I think it was painful for him to do what he did, but ultimately I think that was the right move. I had said they should just play it out. They were only 6 games out at the time, but I think it's become clear they were not going to be a playoff team this year, and they've gotten so many good prospects back. Acuna, Gilbert, Clifford. I mean, the guy from the Marlins, Vargas, is an excellent on-base machine, and I think they did really well with what they did. I think it was the right decision. It's painful for now, but I do believe them that they're going to be competitive next
So that means, I mean, you're looking at the rotation right now. That means a couple of aces. I mean, you mentioned the pitchers that are becoming free agents, and that means help to the lineup as well. I mean, the NL East is no cakewalk. You believe that they can be competitive in 6-7 months? Sure.
Let's not forget they've missed Diaz the entire year, and their nucleus is good. I know they've underperformed this year. I don't think Marte has been healthy. I think once he gets healthy, he will be good again. He's not old at this point. He's seasoned, as I was listening earlier. Nimmo, very good player. Obviously, Alonso, still have him for next year. Lindor, McNeil. They still have a good nucleus of position players. They obviously have the wherewithal to spend, and you know they're going to have a great closer back next year. I do think they will be competitive.
A very similar lineup was successful just a year ago with the Mets, so it's a good point. What about the Cubs? I think a lot of us thought that they would sell, and I think a lot of us thought Marcus Stroman might be first out the door. What did they envision when they stood pat?
Yeah, I mean, they thought they were going to sell. I think up until 4 or 5 games before, they'd won 8 games in a row. So I think the decision was kind of made for them, or they made the right decision, because right now they are right on the cusp of the race. As you saw, they're a half game out of the wild card, and I think they're in excellent position because they have 2 possibilities. They could win the wild card. They could still win that division. Milwaukee's obviously been good lately, but I still give them a chance. Candelario, I think, was an excellent pickup for them, hitting, I believe, .435 since they got him. Wow. They did not have a lot of options in terms of position players, bats. There were not a lot of guys out there. The best guy we thought was going to be out there was Cody Bellinger. Ultimately, he was not. I think they made the right call. They could have gotten a lot for Bellinger, but I think it was worth the risk to go for it at this point. As you see, half game out, and they've got 2 possibilities because they could also win that division. So I think their chances, while they're on the outside looking in right now, I think they're better than 50-50 at this point. So I think they did the right thing. They got the right position player to help them, a guy they used to have in Candelario. I don't think they would have gotten as much as we thought for Stroman. He was not pitching as well lately. Bellinger, obviously, they would have gotten a lot for. So there is a risk going for it, but they did the right thing.
They would have gotten a lot for Cody Bellinger. What will a free agent price tag?
Oh my God!
You knew I was going to ask.
I am so bad. I missed by $100 million on a lot of these.
Okay.
I don't know. He's gonna get over $100 million at this point. I mean, he may not be back to the MVP that he was, but he's one of the better players.
John, the numbers side by side look similar.
Not the power, not the home runs, but the batting average in this day and age to be hitting over 300. He is an outstanding all-around player. 5 tools, can play first base, but he's a great center fielder. He's also a great first baseman. He's a great player. He's just, I mean, he's not the MVP that he was, but he's one of the best players in the game.
Now, help me make sense of the Angels, because they made it clear with, a couple days until the deadline, Shohei Ohtani's not going anywhere. They're far back in the wild card. Why did they feel like they didn't want to get something for him? Did they feel like they didn't want to be the people who traded Shohei? Because now he's a free agent in a month and a half.
Right. Well, they want to keep Shohei Ohtani. That is their big goal. So if they had traded him away, they were not going to be able to do that. So that would have been eliminated.
Is that realistic?
I am not going to rule it out.
Okay.
I know that people around baseball are saying, well, why is he going to go back there? He certainly wants to win. I'm sure everybody does want to win. We don't know that much about Ohtani. One thing we do know is that 5 out of his 7 finalists last time were on the West Coast. So we're kind of just reading tea leaves here that the West Coast is kind of where he wants to be. The Angels have been very good to him. They've let him do what he wanted to do, which was the smart decision because he's the best player in baseball, maybe the best player of all time. They wanted to give themselves a shot. Now, I think they knew going in their chances to make the playoffs were not great. And right now, 6.5 back. The schedule is daunting. They had 9 out of 10 teams with winning records, the one team being the exception, the Mets, on that schedule. So it was going to be very difficult. Even with Giolito, Krichuk, Crone acquired, they knew that going in. The chances to make the playoffs are very, very long at this point. I mean, certainly less than 10%, probably less than 5%. But their ultimate goal is to keep Ohtani, and I don't think that has been eliminated. He said to, and he doesn't talk about it, he said to love it there. Why wouldn't he love it there? It's a wonderful place. They are trying to win around him. They did do the right thing, I do believe. So I get it. They're probably not going to be in the playoffs, but I'm not ruling them out for Ohtani.
On those standings in the wild card in the postseason picture, I was looking at the team at the top right, the Seattle Mariners, 8-2 since the deadline, and there is momentum there. John, what's behind it?
Well, they're a really good team. They made the playoffs last year for the first time in 2 decades, and they have an excellent future. They have terrific pitchers, obviously the Castillo, Gilbert, Kirby. They have a terrific rotation. They have very solid lineup, up and down. I mean, just about everybody has about 100 OPS plus or better. Obviously, Rodriguez is one of the best players in the game. He's still got more coming. I think people feel he could be even better than he has been to this point. It's very interesting that they were a seller, obviously a light seller, trading Seawald was the big one that they traded. They do have Munoz to replace him, so it wasn't that big a gamble. There wasn't a big to-do about it. It wasn't like when Hader was traded last year from Milwaukee. They were able to replace Seawald rather easily, and it was interesting to see. I think it's the fastest switch from a seller to in the playoff position. 8 games later, they were in playoff position with an 8-game winning streak. Right now, they're a little bit outside it, but don't rule them out. They are a really good team.
They were going to do something at the deadline. I don't know much, but I knew
Seattle
was going to do something. Jon Heyman, thank you so much.